My name is Nate Boley, and 20 years ago, strength training changed the course of my life. I built a gym here in Bend, Oregon from scratch that's helped over 1,500 people change their lives as well through strength training. If you want to change your life, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com, hit the Start My Journey button, and let's chat. All right, guys, we'll see you there. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast, where we dive deep into the world of strength, resilience, and unlocking your true potential. I am your host, Nate Boley, Coach Sensei on Instagram, and today we're talking about the crucial role that a strength coach plays in bridging the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Have you ever set out and had a big goal, whether that's a physical milestone like lifting a certain amount of weight, a PR or a record, or something more personal, I don't know, or maybe it's like running a marathon or something. You know, sometimes it can feel like there's a giant mountain in the way. I've had this personally. That's where a strength coach comes in. We're not just here to show you how to lift heavy things. We're here to help guide you, motivate you, and give you the tools to make progress one step at a time. We help you map out the journey and hold you accountable along the way. That's one awesome thing is we have so much different tools in our toolbox, strength coaches, strength and conditioning coaches in general, because they can not only help you build muscle, they can help you build strength, but they can also help you build endurance as well. So they have so many tools and they can help you pull out the right tool at the right time for the right client to get to the right goal, right? But a strength coach is more than just being a fitness expert. They're your partner in the process. They see your potential even when you can't and help push you towards it with every session, every rep. They know when to challenge you and when to pull you back because you might injure yourself or try to burn out. And most importantly, they help you believe that you can achieve things you never thought possible, which is part of our mission and our values is we want to help people become stronger inside and outside the gym so they can achieve things that they never thought possible. I freaking love that. As awesome. I want to share a little backstory, a little bit about my own journey with my fitness coach. I thought I could do it all on my own. And well, I guess the very first thing is I started out working out with my buddy and he taught me some things and then he moved away and I started working out at a big box gym, 24-hour access, wasn't doing it right, injured my shoulder like right away, had to take a step back from my bench, which was a huge disaster, right? And then met up with another guy that I actually knew fairly well, and he was very strong, shredded and tanned and jacked and the whole deal. And him and I started working out together. Now, we're just a couple of bros like, hey, let's do 30 sets of chest and let's do 30 sets of back and let's do a whole bunch of squats. And there was no real rhyme or reason to what we were doing. We were just doing it because we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't have the proper guidance or the technology and the programming and the internet and everything else that you can have today. But mainly the coach. We did not have a good coach. We both came from the high school coach, which just said, go as heavy as you can every single time. Don't worry about form, blah, 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 blah. You know the deal. You've been to high school. You did the strength training classes, possibly even in college. I've seen some collegiate coaches that I'm like, really? This is the program you're giving to your collegiate athletes? No, like you need to go back and take another look at this. But there's also some really great collegiate and high school coaches as well. So I'm not trying to down on anybody. I'm just saying typically a lot of the times the strength coaches are PE teachers and they didn't have a great knowledge background and there was just nobody to learn from back then. The only thing when I started learning about it, there wasn't any YouTube. There was Muscle and Fitness magazines. There was Powerlifting America and there was the West Side Barbell Book of Methods. And that was pretty much it. When I first started, I was just trying to get stronger. I wanted to get jacked and tan like my buddy Shemaiah when I was working out with him. He just looked at weights and just got ripped and huge and strong. And I struggled for every single pound on the bar, every single pound of muscle, and every single pound of body fat dropped. I struggled really hard. nor here nor there. Shemai ended up passing away, and it was super sad. But I had nobody to work out with anymore, and I had just recently moved to Bend, and I went to a gym called Fusion Fitness at this time, and it was a big bodybuilder gym. There wasn't any powerlifting gyms back then. There wasn't anything really. I think there was actually one gym, but it just didn't work out with my time frame or anything like that. But so I ended up going to this 24-hour gym like most bros do, and just started doing exercises like I was back in the day. I was doing bench 3-4 times a week. I was squatting once a week. I was deadlifting once a week, and doing a bunch of accessories, not doing it correctly, not really having a plan, pretty much just going as heavy as I can every single time. Ended up injuring my shoulder again, which it ended up potentially needing surgery. I never got surgery. I just did a bunch of physical therapy and laid off, and it still hurts me today. So I probably should have went and had surgery on that, but either way, I didn't. So this is like 2013. I was really getting into it, and I was working out at this gym, and I saw these guys, and they were lifting really heavy. Like one of them was in the 700-pound squats. A couple of them were in like the high fives. Back in that day, like not very many people did that. Not like they do today. And I walked over there, and I was just chatting with them a little bit, and one of them asked me if I would help spot, and I was like, sure. I really don't know what I'm doing, and there's a 700-800-pound squat just about to happen. Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and spot you. And when he did the squat, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's super awesome. I'd love to hang out with you guys. And so I started working out with these guys. There was 5 of us at the time, 4, and then a 5th one came later. And they introduced me to Westside Barbell Training Book of Methods, and true grit and grind powerlifting. Like we were just heavy deload, or dynamic, I should say. Heavy dynamic. And it worked great for a little while, but I just found myself, even at 25, 26 years old, beat to crap all the time. Injuries upon injuries upon injuries. I tweaked my bicep tendon, almost ripped my bicep tendon. My shoulder hurt again. I herniated my disc really bad. I hurt my knee. I tore a quad. I tore an adductor. Not really bad tears, but just enough where like they got black and blue, and I couldn't lift on them for a while. And I just knew right away, hey, I'm not cut out for this type of training, or it's just maybe not the right type of training. So we parted ways, and I went and started working out on my own at another gym. And I looked up some different, I still stuck with the Westside Book of Methods for a while. And then I ended up going to another one called the 5th Set. And I liked that one a lot. And then I went to the Cube Method. And then I did 531, Windler 531. And again, I'm just doing random things. Like these guys aren't coaching. These are just cookie cutter programs that these guys came up with in their garage after years of training and decided to sell them and make money off of them. But really, they had no clue who I was, what my background was, what my intention was, nothing. It was just hey, here, do this block and see what happens. Now, I'm not going to say that none of them got me results. They absolutely did, which again is the basis of what we use today. We use a multitude of different tools, and I think that's a great thing for strength coaches, just having multiple tools that we can deploy at the right time in the right place for the right client to get them their goals. So it served me well to do many, many, many different types of coaching or programs, I should say. And I did fairly well in powerlifting. I got, I squatted 550 at 181 pounds. I deadlifted 585 at 181 at the age of 28. And I benched 330 at the age of 28 as well, doing all my own programming. Well, then I started noticing that I was going to all these meets. I became a meet referee, and we were going to lots of meets. Our lifters did very well, but I also started noticing that lifters were doing different things. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. And so I started asking some questions, and I got hooked up with my current coach right now. And, he was just like, well, what are you trying to do? I was like, you know what? Honestly, man, I just want to get some records. Like I've been doing this now for like over 10 years, and I have done really well, but I've never gotten any records. And I'm seeing a lot of lifters that are getting records doing different types of warm-ups. I'm seeing them doing different types of deloads before the meet. I used to do when I was back in the day, they always taught me, hey, do nothing the week of the meet. Your last lift is like Sunday. You do nothing for 5 days. You get weighed in on Friday. You do your meet on Saturday. Well, that worked pretty well. Obviously not good enough, but it still worked. But I always felt really anxious going into the meet. So I was like, man, I haven't felt any weight on my back or any weight on my shoulders or anything like that in 5 days. And I'm a little nervous going up to this platform. And I bombed out many times. Not many times. I bombed out twice, I think. Most of that was just because the people I were training with were not training correctly for the meet. And so we weren't prepared to be on the platform. So anyway, I was like, hey, I'm interested in getting some help. Can you coach me? This coach, it was just getting started in his career as well. I had been lifting for about 5 or 6 years longer than this particular coach. Not saying that experience is a length of time is everything. But he was just more into it. Like, I was already a business owner. I had a child. I was a full-time mechanic at the time. I just didn't have the time, the passion or anything to just research anymore. I had done that long time ago. And I needed somebody to really do it for me because I had just too much on my plate. So, long story short, that was 2020, right when COVID started to hit. And this coach was coaching me for free for a little while, which I did not like because I said, hey, you're putting in effort and time. I want you to I want to pay you. So he gave me the official email, and I said, let's do it. And I started paying him, and he's been coaching me ever since. And it has been ups and downs. I've had lots of injuries, some of them because of learning curve from a new coach, some of them because I'm getting older, and some of them because I wasn't doing it correctly in the past, and I probably had some injuries that were just ready to go and some old injuries that hadn't quite healed all the way. But yeah, so within 2 years, I put like 60 pounds on my deadlift. My squat's never been good because I've had 2 knee surgeries. I've torn my meniscus. I ripped my quad. And so I haven't really done much with my squat, but my bench went from 330 to 380. And my deadlift went from 605 to 661. And I was really happy about that with 2 state records in 2 different weight categories. So that experience has really transformed how I approach my life. Now I seek coaching in other areas of my life, whether it's in my business, whether it's in my personal development, or any new challenge that I face. I have a therapist, I've got a business coach, I have a life coach, we have a marriage coach, I've got my fitness coach. And, once I found the value in coaching, I started looking for it in every aspect of my life because I wanted to start gaining traction faster and faster. It's like having a cheat code in life, right? You're not just working harder, you're working more efficient and smarter. And that's what I really try to tell everybody is, hey, what is coaching? When you pay for coaching, you're buying speed and clarity. You know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly what the plan is, and you're going to get there faster because there's no second guessing. They're making all the mistakes for you, and they're making sure that you're on the right track. And they've probably already made lots of mistakes with other clients. Right now, if they're a brand new coach and they have never coached anybody before, you're going to have to give them a little bit of some grace because they're going to make mistakes with you. But that's okay. That's how everybody learns. It's all experience, right? When you're aligning your efforts with a clear strategic plan, which is what you get from a coach, that's designed to get you from point A to point B most efficiently, that is the best, right? If you were to spend, I was chatting with this lady the other day, and she came to my gym, and she said, I need strength training because I'm not getting to the goals I want to, but I can't spend more than XYZ dollars. And I said, oh, okay, well, is there a specific reason why you can't spend that much? Is it outside your budget or what's going on? And she said, well, I'm going to another gym that's yoga and Pilates, and it's about the same price, that price, and I can't afford both. And then she said, well, but I'm not getting to my goals with going to this XYZ gym. And I said, okay, well, if you're not getting to your goals, then you're really wasting your money, right? And she's like, well, yeah, now that you put it that way, if you're going, you got to really pick and choose what your goals are and what you want. And, I get it, yoga, Pilates, I'm not going to say it ain't hard. It's hard. It's definitely good for you. Is it going to get you to your peak physical fitness and muscle mass, bone mass, and the best physical fitness you'll ever be in? Absolutely not. Yoga is really only a supplemental thing. It should never be your primary thing. And I'm sure you can ask a lot of people that. Probably not a yogi or a yoga instructor or a yoga gym. But honestly, yoga and Pilates should just be a supplemental thing, in my opinion. But hey guys, we're going to take a quick break. So before we dive back in, I want to take a quick moment to talk about something that's really important. The only way this podcast grows and reaches the goals that I've set out for it is with your help. If you're enjoying this content, please like the podcast and share it on your story on your Instagram or Facebook and tag me at coach_sensei. Your support means the world to me, and it will help continue the spread of the message of strength. And that is what this podcast is about. So anyway, back to the podcast, all right? And hey, if you're ready to take the next steps into your fitness journey and strength journey, I highly implore you to come take a chat, come inside to the gym, have a chat with us at Strength Warehouse. We're all about helping you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You can book a no sweat intro today on our website, www.benstrengthwarehouse.com, and we can chat about how we can help you crush your goals, okay? All right, let's get back to it. So, as we were discussing, the true value of Strength Coach is that they connect the dots between your current self and your future self. So it's not just about the physical transformation, it's also about the mental and emotional growth that comes along with it. And that is something that translates to everything in every area of your life. So if you're on the fence about coaching, whether it's for fitness or any other aspect of your life, I encourage you to take that leap. You might just find that the missing piece that propels you forward to your biggest and wildest goals and dreams is coaching. So, hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning in today. Keep pushing, keep thriving, and remember, you're stronger than you think. Until next time, this is Coach Sensei signing off. Thanks for joining us on the Go Heavy or Go Home podcast today. We hope you got a lot of value and had a ton of fun. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about what we do, or just have a ton of resources at your fingertips, head over to benstrengthwarehouse.com and hit the Start My Journey button. All right, guys, until next time, go heavy or go home.